hello. We're back. New game. New Yuri love story. Called All the Words She Wrote. But the real question is, what did she write though? Is the game audio loud? Oh! Oop. Okay, let's see. Audio sounds good. Okay. Ooh, where am I? Oh, whoa, okay. Unseen text. Blue. Transition black. Okay, I feel like the game audio is a bit... It's so bright, I know. I feel like the game audio is a bit too loud for me. So I'm gonna turn it down 1. How is that? Okay, that sounds very quiet now. I don't know. Does it sound too quiet now? It's still audible? Okay. Alrighty. Cool. I don't know where my little arrow is. I'll keep going all the way to the left. Oh, I see it. Okay, it's on music. Where is it? Low game. Okay, it's return. It's return. Okay. Here we go. Actually, wait. What's in the extras? Gallery, music locked. Gallery. Okay. There's only like 2 pages. Music. Okay. Everything we haven't unlocked yet. Okay. Go back. And it's time to start this game. Let's go. Oh. Mayo. Who is Mayo? The girls here look cute though. We're in a little bakery. Nice. In our uniforms. Alright. Here are your slices of lemon cake. Thank you very much for your patronage. Wood. That's crazy. I hand the bag over to Mrs. Kimura, who accepts it. The plastic crinkles when she grips it, and the corner of her eyes see crease in a motherly smile. Thank you, Mayo dear. I'll look forward to tucking into this later, as I'm sure will Miho. Miho is in this game as well? Dang. I mean, I guess Miho would come to another bakery. That's not surprising. This should cheer her up if nothing else. You said she had a bad day at school. Unfortunately, she got into another altercation with Keiichi. Miho really loves girls. Or rather, he got into an altercation with her. Mrs. Kimura rests a palm on her cheek and sighs. I would say that kids will be kids, but Keiichi really does take things too far. He pushes my Miho off the swings, and she has quite the nasty bump on her forehead. It's a good thing she didn't cut herself. What a jerk. Okay, so Miho is the one on the right. It's the girl on the right is Miho. I scowl, upset on Miho's behalf. There were a few boys like that back when I was in elementary school too. They'd pull the girls' pigtails, flip up their skirts, and throw things at them. Though not I hasten to add all at the same time. They were the worst. Same here. Okay, so this girl is named Nina. Nina, my colleague, pipes up. She toys with the ends of her pink hair, dyed, obviously, and pulls a face. Damn, you don't have to mention that it's dyed. Little boys can be seriously horrid. They're like total assholes. Oh my. Mrs. Kimura laughs. You should probably watch that tone of yours, Nina dear. I don't mind much, but your other customers might. I wouldn't want you getting in trouble with your boss. Oh shoot, that's a good point. Sorry about that. I wasn't thinking. You never do you? Damn. It's rarely polite to bring asshole up in a conversation, even if we're talking in a strictly figurative sense, but it seems especially unfitting right now. Nina and I both work at this fancy chain bakery, which is fairly popular among families. The display cabinet is full of delicate little cakes and pastries, tarts, shows, buns, donuts, and the like. These cakes and pastries are all artfully arranged like something from a fairy tale. They come in pastel colors with little rosettes of icing piped on top of them. They're the sort of dessert that looks so cute you feel guilty about eating them. They're way too neat and sweet to bear any relation to the particular part of the human anatomy that Nina mentioned. What the heck? You should think before you open your mouth, Nina. All sorts of nonsense comes spewing out otherwise. Why don't you take a few tips from me? I always mind my manners. Yeah. Nina rolls her eyes. You're so incredible, Mayo. I'm proud of you. Do you want a gold star? Well, if you're offering. I wasn't, be serious. I know, you're such a meanie. I grin to show Nina that there's no hard feelings, then look back at Mrs. Kimura. I hope this cheesecake cheers Miho up anyways. I'm sure it will. This bakery is Miho's favorite and mine. Your cheesecakes are to die for. Not literally, I hope. Not quite. I might be getting on in years, but there's life in me yet. Mrs. Kimura laughs. She's a jovial sort of woman, and I rarely see her without a smile on her face. Mrs. Kimura's daughter, meanwhile, is the exact opposite. Miho's a shy, retiring girl who might as well be superglued to her mother's side. She's forever hiding behind Mrs. Kimura's back whenever she accompanies her to Blue Mountain. I think Miho might be a bit afraid of Nina, what with her dyed hair and her manicured nails. What? But no, that can't be right. Miho hides behind her mother's back when I'm working with Sakura too, and Sakura's distinctly non-threatening. Maybe Miho's afraid of everyone, full stop. Is that why she gets picked on at school so much? Thank you for asking after Miho, Mayo. It's good of you to take an interest in her. I'm sure Miho will be happy to know that you're thinking of her. Oh, you know me. I'm a sucker for gossip. Even playground gossip? That's the most interesting kind. You best come back and tell us if that Keiichi kid got what he deserved. His teachers should give him a stern talking to, or I'll be pissed. Nina sounds unusually fired up. She acts languid most of the time, like a cat, but she springs to life when confronted by the injustices of the world, particularly those aimed against cute, innocent kids like Miho. I think Nina might make a good for a good superheroine. She'd definitely be the Pink Ranger. Keiichi really is an ass, Nina catches herself before she can utter another expletive. That was a close call. I mean, he's most assuredly annoying. He is quite the handful, yes. I do wish his mother would discipline him more. Oh, I think, you know what, I feel Nina's giving me, what is that, word? Gyaru? That's what she's, giving me right now. Maybe I'll give her the, oh my god, voice. Have you thought about talking to her? Yeah, that seems more fitting. I've tried, but I've not made much progress. She imagines every slight against her son is a direct attack upon her. It's rather tiring, but oh, there I go again, rabbiting on. I'm sorry for bothering you, dears. I'm sure you have more important things to attend to. It's fine. It's been a slow day. Mrs. Kimura is the only person here, other than Nina, and she doesn't count. She isn't a customer. You're not a bother at all. I appreciate it, but I must get on. Tonight's dinner won't make itself. Oh yeah, good point. Hee. I guess I'll see you later then. Later. Goodbye, girls. I'm sure I'll be back soon enough. I can't keep away from Blue Mountain's cheesecakes for the life of me, though it would probably do me some good. Laughing, Mrs. Kimura turns on her heel to leave. I watch her depart, the bell above the door jingling as she pulls it open. With Mrs. Kimura gone, Blue Mountain feels decidedly less homey. It's strange, I ponder, that there are no other customers around at this hour. This branch of Blue Mountain is close to the train station, which means it's almost always busy. Most customers step into the store and place their orders in double quick time, all hurry, hurry, hurry. They glance at their phones while I'm backing up their tarts and cakes, and they throw their change down on the counter like they're roasted soybeans and we're in the middle of Setsubun. What gives? I prop my cheek up with the one hand, my elbow resting on the counter, and sigh. That was big of a sigh. Are you alright? What? Oh. I brush Nina's concern aside with a wave of my hand. I'm fine, yeah. Good. I'm glad. Nina purses her lips together. If you don't have any problems, you should help clean this place up a bit. The floor could use sweeping. Ugh. I pull a face. Do I have to? Yes, you have to. The boss will be mad if we let the store get dirty. But that's such a pain. You say that about almost everything. So, not quite everything. It's near enough. Nina is right, of course. There are definitely tasks I could be tending to during this lull in business, but if I'm being frank, I don't have the motivation. It's a reoccurring problem with me. I think it started back in elementary school. I've always been lazy. It's too late to change my ways. It's never too late. You can always change, so long as you're still breathing. Now, get to work. Nina might look like a typical party girl, with her dyed hair and her false nails, but she takes her job surprisingly seriously. I guess it's true what they say, you can't really judge a book by its cover. You're so mean, Nina. You sound just like my mother. Does she say that often, scold you? Not as much as she used to. It was real bad back in high school, though. Isn't that because you never did your homework? You never studied for your exams. Well, maybe. Jeez. Nina shakes her head. Your poor mother. It's no wonder she got mad at you. Did you take any of your classes seriously? I don't know. Home economics, maybe? I've always been good at baking. What about your math or history? Don't even get me started on those. I can't remember the math questions for the life of me, or the precise dates of the siege of Kanigasaki, not that it really matters. I've been out of high school for 4 years, and I've never really once needed to expand and simplify a set of brackets, let alone rattle off facts about the Sengoku era. I'm starting to suspect that mayhaps my teachers and parents were lying to me. Math is only really important if you want to be a math professor, or maybe a professional chess player, and I can't even pretend to be interested in either of these occupations. Ancient history, meanwhile, is so not my forte. I don't see how any of these old wars and rebellions from hundreds of years ago have any impact on my life. My mother always tuts when she catches me reading anything by Shikumi Ryu. She says I should live in the real world, but in that world, I ask you, is the Sengoku era relevant? History is only ever interesting when it presents in a bunch of easily digestible TV episodes, with all the key figures played by good-looking actors. Most of the stuff I learned at school was utterly useless. That's why it never stuck. It's all irrelevant. That's what I think, at least, but maybe I could only afford to think like this because I never intend to go to university from the get-go. I've always known I'm not academically minded. I think my teachers knew that, too, which is why they stopped haranguing me over my subpar test scores. They knew there was no point. I was already a lost cause. You're not going to university, right, Mayo? Nope, my grades are shocking, and I don't mean that in a good way. I gathered as much. Forget the big-name establishments like Tokoyu, not even the smaller, decidedly less glamorous institutions with only a few thousand students would want to take me in. My mother wanted me to enroll at a cram school? We're scrolling, woo! At a cram school and retake my exams, but I refused. I wasn't interested, and I'm still not. That's how I ended up at Blue Mountain, though I didn't start working here right away. A bunch of other menial jobs came between that, all of them in customer service. First, I worked at a convenience store, then a second-hand bookstore, and then over at Petit Jardin. I've had so many jobs over the last 4 years, I can't remember them all. I'm pretty fond of Blue Mountain, though. It's quite classy for a chain bakery, and the uniforms are cute. The pay's not incredible. I'm not going to be a billionaire anytime soon, but I don't mind that. Life's short, so rather spend my time doing things I enjoy. Not that I love customer service jobs. They're not scintillating by any means. I agree full-heartedly. I like working more than I ever enjoyed sitting at a desk, though, studying or listening to a teacher drone on and on. I've always enjoyed chatting to people when they're not being unbearably rude, that is, and the money definitely doesn't hurt. I don't want to pry, but do you have, any future plans? Not really. There's nothing you want to do? If there is, I haven't figured it out yet. Doesn't that worry you? Nuh-uh. I shake my head. My future problems are for the future me to solve. The present me is perfectly happy with the way things are now. Thank you very much. Wow. Nina whistles. I'm not sure if she's impressed or perturbed by my attitude. Maybe it's a mixture of both. I was sweating bullets during my last year of high school. I had no idea what I was going to do with myself. It was pretty scary. If I hadn't gotten into beauty school, I'd be totally lost right about now. I need some kind of structure in my days, or I start to feel all aimless. There's no way I could live like you. Nina's always making to-do lists on her phones, which she whips out during lulls on the workday. She's far, far more organized than I am. It's quite impressive. Sometimes I wonder if my mother would prefer me if I was more like Nina. But then I look at Nina and her tan skin, her acrylic nails, and her dyed hair, and I reconsider. Damn. My mother's almost as anal about appearances as she is actual results. I could be a nuclear physicist, and my mother would still cringe in shame if I dressed like Nina. Oh well, I'm not my mother, thank goodness, and I won't judge her. Excuse me. You're such a good girl. Are you sure you don't want a gold star? I'll pass, thanks. I'd rather you start sweeping the floor. It always comes back to that, huh? I sigh. Why'd I have to sweep the floor anyways? Because I did it last time, and I took out the trash. Though I just got my nails done, you need to start pulling your weight around here, Mayo. But I deal with all the customers. And? Nina raises an eyebrow. Do you see any customers right now? Well, no, but then start sweeping. Boo, you really are a meanie. I look through the door anxiously, hoping a customer will trundle on in, but of course they don't. It really is quiet today. I wonder why. It's a little after 17 o'clock, according to the clock on the wall, which is smack dab in one of our busy periods. We usually get our biggest influx of customers during the lunch period from around 12 to 13, and again from 17 to 18 when people start heading home. Maybe there was a signal failure on the Kikyu main line that might explain the distant lack of businessmen and the women in their crisp black suits, just desperate for something sweet to invigorate them after a busy day. Groaning, I pull myself upright, then stretch. I mean to get started on the busy work, really I do, but... Oh! The telltale ring of the bell above the shop door makes me pause. I abandon my plans and bound back to the counter, all smiles. Welcome to Blue Mountain. It's lovely to see you today. Whoa. I launch into the greeting spiel my boss drilled into my head on autopilot, but my words falter once my brain registers who this customer actually is. Damn. God damn. The design of these characters are pretty nice. The prospect customer is a tall, slender woman with a sleek black hair cut into a fashionably feathered bob. Her eyes are made up, her lips carmine, and she's wearing a pinstripe suit, very fashionable. She carries herself with such a poise. She looks a bit like a model, but I know you'd not find her in the pages of any magazine. This woman is no regular to Blue Mountain, but I recognize her regardless. It's my Aunt Say. Oh, great. Another Say character who's in a business suit. Oh boy. I don't know, but Say seems a bit more charismatic. Auntie! I beat my voice more effusive than once it was. It's been a while. It's good to see you. Mayo! Sai looks surprised to see me here, as I am her, but the moment passes as she soon regains her cool. If I had to use one word to describe my Aunt Say, cool would probably be it. She doesn't let anything faze her. I've always looked up to her ever since I was old enough to understand the concept of a role model. She's the sort of adult that I love to be, if only I had the motivation. It's good to see you too, dear. I didn't know you were working here. I thought you were still at Petit Jardin. Oh, I quit that job a few months back. All the screaming kids were driving me insane. I've worked at Blue Mountain since February. I see. It's been a while then. I didn't think I'd be seeing you when I ducked in here. Sai smiles a dark, lipsticky smile. Michael never tells me what you're getting up to. That's probably because she's ashamed of me. Still, she still wishes I'd gone to university. Still? Sai frowns. It's been 4 years. Doesn't she know you're not interested? I've told her a bunch of times, but it never seems to stick. My mother's pretty stubborn. She thinks everybody's gonna march to the beat of her drum. That sounds like Michael, alright. She always knows what's best for everybody, or at least she thinks she does. Tell me about it. I grin. I won't let her talk me around though. I'm just as stubborn as she is, if not more. There's no way I'm going to university. It'll be a total waste. I concur. You shouldn't let Michael push you into it. Not when you're so opposed to the idea. It's important to do what you think is best for yourself. That's what I keep saying. My mother never listens to me though. Maybe you should try speaking to her on my behalf. Maybe I could. It's funny you would mention that. Sai begins to examine our selection of pastries and cakes. She places one hand beneath her chin, her black bob brushing against her jaw. Nina looks at me curiously, a crease forming on her brow. She looks lost, a third reel in mine, and says, friendly, familiar conversation. Is this woman really your Aunt Mayo? Nina murmurs this under her breath, so Sai can't hear her. You don't look alike. More or less, yeah. More or less. The furrow in Nina's brow deepens further still. And how does that work exactly? We're not related by blood. She's my mother's friend from university. I saw her so much as a kid she might as well be my real aunt though. That's why I call her auntie. Ah, I see. She looks way too put together to be any relation of yours. My mother would probably be mad if she heard you saying that, hee. Goodness me, it's hard to decide. These cakes look all so good. Sai's voice cuts through mine and Nina's whispered conversation. She raises her head, then asks me a question. Is there anything you would recommend, Mayo? Let me think. I ponder for a few moments before replying. Maybe one of the fruit tarts. They're pretty tasty. What about Maiko? Does she like fruit tarts? She does, yeah. She likes most sweet things, though she says she's on a diet. She was like that back in university, too. There was a Chinese bakery near our dorm she frequently, almost daily. I wouldn't be surprised if she single-handedly kept that place in business. Sai smiles, amused by the memory. I suppose I'll take one of the fruit tarts to go then, a large one. Coming right up. I retrieve the large circular tart from the display unit at Sai's behest and box it up for her. I take great pains to the tie and decorative bin out of the box as neatly as possible. Do you need anything else? That should be everything. Thank you, Mayo. I hope you and Maiko enjoy it. Huh? I blink. What's this got to do with us? I thought you were buying the tart for yourself. Oh, I'm sure I'll sample a piece of it, but I didn't get this for me. It's actually a present for your mother. I was planning to stop by your house later, you see, and I thought it'd only be polite to bring a gift for the occasion. It's been a while since my last visit. There's something I want to discuss with you and your parents too. Will you be getting off work anytime soon? We could walk back to your house together. That'd be pretty convenient, but I still got a while until my shift ends. I don't want to keep you waiting. It's fine. You can head off early, Mayo. I'll cover for you. Are you sure that's alright? If it wasn't, I wouldn't offer. Nina rolls her eyes. Your aunt might have something important to tell you, else she wouldn't have come all the way out here. You should spend more time with her. That's more important than working an extra half hour, especially when you're so quiet right now. Nina! I could feel my face flushing with happiness. I have a sudden urge to pull Nina into a big ol' embrace. But I don't think she'd appreciate that. Knowing Nina, she'd probably scowl and tell me to stop being so sappy. Since hugging Nina is a no-no, I have to settle for flashing Nina a peace sign for a minute. I thought she was just gonna say she's gonna flash her on her shirt. Oh, that's okay. Flashing is a word. I have to settle for flashing Nina a peace sign coupled with my toothiest smile. Toothiest. Thanks, Nina. You're the best. I'm not doing this for free, though. I'm expecting you to cover me next time my boyfriend asks me out on a date. Okay? Okay. I agree enthusiastically, without missing a beat. It's been so long since I saw Auntie Say. She's been buried under an avalanche of work recently, so I've heard. I wonder what compelled her to come all the way out here from her fancy office in Shibuya out to Kawasaki. It's all very intriguing. But I guess I'll find out soon enough. Damn, the girls are thick. Sai and I walk along the street, threading out our way between the crowds. My house is a 15-minute walk away, and while we could take the train, it'd be pretty crowded this time of day. It's probably faster to use our feet. Saya and I are so close, our shoulders are practically brushing. She's walking slowly, the box from Blue Mountain cradled in her arms. She's holding it carefully, almost reverently, like a mother might hold a newborn baby. I'm pretty pleased that Say is being so protective of her purchase. The fruit tarts from Blue Mountain are really something, almost like works of art. It'd be a shame to spoil it. The tart Say picked out has a meringue base with sliced strawberries placed just so on top in a circular pattern. The whole thing is garnished with blueberries and whipped cream, and it looks like a flower, or maybe a firework. I can't wait to sink my teeth into it. I've been working at Blue Mountain for about 4 months now, but I don't think I'll ever get tired of their desserts. I'm partial to their sponge cakes, but the light crisp fruit tarts are perfect for the summer weather. Oh, we're in normal clothes now. How cute. Ah, geez, now my stomach's starting to rumble. I must be hungrier than I thought. Are you alright, Mayo? Say shoots me an amused look. You're staring at the box in my hands like a starving wolf. Are my feelings that obvious? You're not exactly subtle. Say smiles. I take it your job at Blue Mountain is hungry work? Kind of, yeah. It's tough being surrounded by cute pastries and cakes all the time without being able to eat them. We tend to get a lot of customers too, though today wasn't so bad. When did you last eat? Around midday, I think, and that's when I had my break. It's been a while, and I only had a pitiful sandwich from the convenience store. I'm starved. We should be back soon enough. Michael will be there already, won't she? Yeah, she doesn't work Thursdays. My mother is a part-time employee at a local elementary school. She doesn't work Thursdays or Fridays, which gives her ample time to attend to the housework. She's always asking me to pitch in and lend a hand to my charting. I've never liked tidying up. I don't mind helping my mother prepare breakfast, and sometimes I'll handle dinner myself because I like cooking. The cleanup's torturous though. Speaking of dinner, I bet Mom will make me wait until after dinner before I can try some of that tart. She wouldn't want me spoiling my appetite. I scuffed the sidewalk with the tip of my sneaker. She's so picky. Now, she's only picky because she cares about you. I think she cares too much. She gets so worked up about everything. It's not the end of the world if I forgot to wash the dishes or take in the laundry. I wish my mother was cool as you, Auntie Say. You never get on my case. That's because I don't live with you. If you were my daughter, I'm sure I'd have a few choice words to tell you. Pleasant words? Maybe. That depends. On what? On how pleasant you feel like being yourself, little madame. Saya nudges me on the side with her shoulder, her carmine lips pulled into a smile. You've not seen me in the office, but I can be incredibly strict, especially when there's deadlines to meet. There's a reason a lot of my coworkers call me a demon. If I could make grown men cry, I don't think any child of mine would stand a chance. Is that why you never have had kids, Auntie Say? That, and I've never really had the time. We all want different things out of life. I don't know if my mother wanted a kid like me. But I guess it's too late for that. She's stuck with me now. Micah loves you a lot, Mayo. She's always talked about you. About how impossible I am? Sometimes. It shows that she cares, though. Sure. I roll my eyes skywards. I know my mother cares about me really, despite all her nagging. There are parents out there who charge the kids rent for staying at home past the age of 18, or even worse, parents who kick their kids to the curb the moment they reach adulthood. My mother's not like that. I think she's glad to have me around despite her grousing. She just worries about me. She worries about everything. Actually, not just me. I think that's why her hair is growing gray already. Damn. My mother is a year younger than Say, but you wouldn't think that to compare them. Say is very trim and fit and fashionable, with her bobbed hair and her fancy suits. My mother, meanwhile, wears her hair in a loose side ponytail, strands escaping, and she wears these ratty old cardigans and long skirts. She often looks tired, and she's forever complaining about having headaches. I mean, she's working with kids, so... But maybe that's a side effect of having to look after a kid for so many years, especially an annoying one like me. So, how have you been, Auntie? Are you still busy with work? I'm always busy with work. You've got a lot of deadlines to meet. Always. It's quite hectic. Since one of my authors managed to make it big, I am in and out of meetings every day. I'm glad for it, of course. It's quite stressful. I've been doing overtime at the office for months. Auntie Say is a literary agent. She represents a bunch of different authors, and it's her job to land them publishing contracts with lots of zeros appended to the end. Oh wow. We have another Aspen over here. If Aspen was an auntie. That's interesting. I don't know much about Auntie Say's job, but I've gathered she spends a lot of time cracking the whip, keeping all her signed authors on schedule. The wood. Bruh. Apparently, writers are notoriously bad for failing to meet deadlines. Aunt Say has to send droves of polite but insistent emails every single day, and load of phone calls too. My aunt's job might sound more glamorous than my mother's at an elementary school, keeping naughty kids in line, but I don't know if they're all that different really. Ugh, that sounds tough. It can't be. But I try not to let it get to me. I need to keep a cool head or things would soon fall apart. I run a very tight ship. I bet. So... My curiosity piqued. I peered at my aunt. If you're as busy as all that, why'd you decide to pay us a visit? You must have something very serious to discuss. It's not serious per se. Nobody's died at least, though. Sei presses her lips together. Komikado might, if she keeps trying my temper. Who's that? One of your authors? Indeed, she's quite the handful. What she's written? Anything I know? I can't blurt that out to you on the street, silly. Sei adjusts her grips on the Blue Mountain box and then gives my forehead a flick. It's confidential. It can't be that confidential. I've never heard of an author called Komikado before. Not that that's saying much. I don't make a habit of reading. Not real novels, anyway. I've been really into this popular light novel series, The Forest of the Elves and the Pressured Princess by Tsuchimi Ryu. But that's where my appreciation for the written words end. I don't have the attention span for any of the serious classic type novels they made us read in high school. I think they're deathly boring. If Rashomon came with a bunch of full-page illustrations of cute, busty elf girls, maybe I'd be interested, but it doesn't. She wants to read girls with big busts, bruh. What the heck? I mean, hey, she knows what she likes, so good for her at least. It's such a waste. You wouldn't have heard Komikado. She writes under an alias. She's so real for that. Don't a lot of authors do that? They like their privacy, my clients in particular. Komikado wouldn't be happy if she knew you'd been asking questions. I was only asking because you brought her up. Touché. Sei smiles. I suppose I can't be too mad at you then. So, is this Komikado person related to your visit? I can't think of how she could be. I don't even know who she is. But I don't see why else Sei would have mentioned her. There's a brief pause, broken by the sound of our soles against the sidewalk. Sei is wearing heels, and they strike the ground with a series of short staccato jabs. Tuk, tuk, tuk. Sei readjusts the Blue Mountain box in both her hands. Then she replies, "Yes, she is." Huh? My brow furrows. How does that track? I don't get it. You'll see soon enough. I'll explain everything when we get to your house. Can't you explain it now? I'm on the tenterhooks here. Sorry, Mayo, but this matter involves your mother too, and your father, I suppose. I like them to be present to avoid repeating myself. Dad too? This must be a big deal if you're getting the family patriarch involved. Well, I say that, but it's no secret that my mother is the one who rules the roost. She's the one who keeps a grip on the purse strings. My dad is a bit like a puppet. He obeys my mother without question. Presumably because after all their years spent together, he knows her well enough to know that it's not worth questioning her authority. Excuse me. My mother generally knows best anyway. There's no point trying to argue with her. It's really not that serious, Mayo. Don't look so worried. You're not in any trouble. But Komikado is? Oh, she's not just in trouble. She is trouble. Right. I still don't understand Sei's motivations for coming over, but I feel more intrigued about her plans now than I did before. What in the world is she up to? My mother greets Sei enthusiastically once we arrive back home, with a whole bunch of exclamations and gesticulations. Oh dang. Why her mom? Oh my god, her mom is Monica from Doki Doki Literature Club. Oh no. Damn, why does her mom not have like a full body portrait though? I like her mom is just called Mom. Sei, it's good to see you. How have you been? Well, Sei begins, but she doesn't get a chance to respond. My mother ushers her inside and then sets about brewing a pot of green tea before Sei has had so much as a chance to take off her shoes. My mother continues her assault while bustling about the kitchen, firing questions at Sei as she ferrets cups and spoons out from the cupboards. She doesn't even pause to draw in breath. It's quite impressive, really, in a manic sort of way. How has work been treating you? I hope it hasn't been too stressful. It was so good of you to come and see us. I've missed our little chats. Oh, and what's that? A tart? Did you bring that for me? You shouldn't have. I appreciate the thought, of course, but we are friends. You didn't need to go out of your way for me. It's a lovely tart, though. Damn, Mom's scowl is scary. That's side-eye, though. Where did you get it? At Blue Mountain, you say? The bakery by the station? Why, that's where Mayo works. Did you happen to run into her? And she walked you back here? How nice. We don't have guests over all that often, so my mother's been housewifely senses and must have kicked into overdrive. My mother's on the shorter side, and she's rather slender, but she rushes through the house like a force of nature. It takes several minutes of forced hospitality before my mother deigns to sit at the table with Sei and me. When she finally gets around to sipping the green tea she brewed, it's already gone lukewarm. Now, you said you had something important to discuss? Do you want me to call Yukihiro? I can tell him to hurry back home. He should be finished with work soon. Then we can all have a proper conversation. That would be appreciated. Thank you very much, Maiko. Oh, okay, she does address her as Maiko. Okay. Sei bows her head politely, which makes my mother laugh. Please lighten up, Sei. You don't need to bother with formalities. Not around me. We've known one another too long. I think that's a bit rich coming from the woman who keeps bobbing up and down to pour more cups of green tea, but I decide to keep silent on that score. My mother sends a text to my dad about Sei's visit, but his response is less than favorable. It looks like he's still busy. He won't be back for at least an hour at the earliest. Is that alright, Sei? I know how busy you are. I hate to keep you waiting. It's fine. I thought this might happen, so I decided to leave my evening empty. Moreover, this is my fault for dropping by so unexpectedly. It would be unfair of me to expect Yukihiro to change his schedule for my sake. Why don't we use this opportunity to catch up? It feels like it's been a small eternity since we spent any time together. I'm sorry for neglecting you, Maiko. That's quite alright. These things happen. We're all busy adults, and we all have our own lives. I've been rather busy myself as of late. Why, just the other day, my mother launches into a lengthy diatribe about our ongoing problems with the boiler, to which Sai listens sympathetically. Talk about the boiler soon transitions to my mother woes regarding one of her students, a particularly naughty boy called, you'll never guess, Keiichi. My mother works at the same elementary school that Mrs. Kimura's daughter Miho attends. As such, she's intimately familiar with Keiichi, who, from what I've gathered, seems to be a scourge on society. He sounds like a real handful. My mother's been trying to flag up Keiichi's behavior to his mother for months, to little avail. She thinks her son is a perfect angel. She refused to admit that he can do any wrong. Talking with that woman is a nightmare. It's no wonder her son is such a menace. I doubt she ever punishes him. I don't agree with smacking children, but sometimes even I think that boy needs a good shake. He's done worse to his classmates. Sometimes it's all it takes. You just grab them by the shoulder, aggressively, firm grip, and you shake them. Shake them so hard their brain rattles a little bit and they feel a little dizzy. Sometimes that's all it takes. Take Miho, for example. And so it goes. My mother talks on and on and on, as she's prone to doing. Sei nods sympathetically and says, at all the right moments, which encourages my mother further. I sit there all while mute and rather bored. I keep sneaking glances at the clock while nursing my cup of green tea between my fingers. When Dad's going to get back? It's almost been an hour already. I want to hear what Sei's new is. That's far more interesting than the boiler or, if I'm being honest, Keiichi's antics. I already heard all about him from Mrs. Kimura earlier. I've heard his name so many times during the last couple of months, I'm starting to wonder if he's some kind of supernatural phenomenon. I wonder. If you said Keiichi 3 times in front of the bathroom mirror at night, would the fiend himself appear? It's the stupid bubble eyes whenever she changes emotion. It's cute, but it just looks so silly. I might have to try that someday. My musings are soon cut short, however, by the sound of the front door. The door creaks open if needing oiling, then slams shut with a dull thud that echoes throughout the house. That must be Yukihiro. He always does that. I've told him not to slam the door. Goodness knows how many times he'll chip the paintwork in the hall, but he never listens. I suppose that's men for you. They always think they know best. I hear my father remove his coat and slide off his shoes in the foyer. Then he comes padding into the living room, looking worn and weary after a long day's labor. If he hears my mother's complaints, he doesn't comment on them. He must be used to it after more than 20 years of her snide jabs. I wonder if all married couples are like that. That's a bit of a depressing thought. Damn. I'm home, everybody. Sorry about the delay. I meant to come over sooner, but things kept piling up. It's alright. Don't worry, Yukihiro. Sai flashes my dad a consoling smile. I know how it can be. Jobs that should take 5 minutes often end up lasting half an hour, if not longer. That's exactly how it is. I'm bone tired. My dad groans, then takes a seat at the living room. So, what's all this for? Okay, before we get to whatever Auntie has to say, I will be right back. Alright, back. So what's all this for? He casts an eye at the fancy fruit tart on the table, which has been half devoured already. Say brought it from Blue Mountain as a present. It was very thoughtful of her. She needn't have troubled herself with it, really, but I'm glad she did. Do you want a piece, dear? I probably shouldn't. I need to think about my weight, but oh, what the heck. You only live once. It would be rude not to, really, when Say brought it for us. That's the spirit. Sai grins. And I don't know why you're worrying about your weight. You look as trim as a man in his 20s. Well, I don't know about that. My dad looks down at himself as his round paunch which protrudes over the top of his belt and laughs. You're too kind. My mother fetches another plate from the kitchen alongside a freshly brewed pot of green tea and renews her roles as a perfect hostess. She pours all of us cups of tea and then cuts my dad a thin slice of the fruit tart. There you go, dear. Enjoy. Thank you. I will. I'll make it a nice treat after being rushed off my feet all day. My dad eats a bite of the tart, then sighs in contentment. This is delicious. Your daughter's the one who suggested it. She has a good eye for these things, or maybe a good tongue? Really? Dad smiles at me. Good job, kiddo. I know I can always rely on your expert opinion when it comes to sweets. Now that hits the spot. My dad polishes off his small slice of fruit tart, then washes it down with a sip of green tea. It was very good, though I think your baking might have it beat, Mayo. You're skilled in the kitchen yourself. Nah, I'm not. You're flattering me. Not at all. I could eat your baking all day. My dad casts his gaze down once more to his protruding stomach, which might explain my current predicament. Haha. I think your current predicament, as you termed it, can be attributed more to your own lack of self-control. Well, maybe. Maya doesn't make it easy on me, though, when she's always in the kitchen. How can I refuse her baking? As her father, I'm supposed to encourage her. So say. My father turns his attention back to our guest. I must apologize again for my lateness. I hope it wasn't too much of an inconvenience. Oh, it's quite alright. I was having fun talking to Mako. Being talked to my Mako would be a more accurate descriptor of the last hour, but again, I don't comment. I've long since learned it's best not to draw aggro for my mother type and enemies, not if I want my evenings to be peaceful to any degree. At least Say seems to enjoy my mother's company. I'm glad to hear it. Have you two been having a girly chat? Oh yes, Micah was telling me all about her job and about one of her problem students, Keiichi. I think she said that was his name. That little pest. Damn, even the dad is like, ah, shit kid. My father groans. I've never seen the boy, but Michael talks about him so much it sometimes feels like I have two children. My father catches my eye, then smiles. Not that Mayo's a child anymore, I suppose. She's a splendid adult now. Thanks, Dad. I do my best. I know you do, dear, though I do wish you could be a little bit more independent. I think I've complained enough for one evening, though. At least she's self-aware. What is it you wanted to tell us, Say? You've been here so long, I'm sure you're dying to say your piece, so you can be gone. Not at all. I've been rather enjoying myself. It's nice to relax every once in a while. But you're right. There is something I want to discuss. I presume it's something important if you came all the way out here to talk to us. It is important, yes, but it's not particularly serious. There's nothing for you to worry about. This is a mere fancy on my part. You don't need to agree to it, not if you don't want to, but I thought it might make for a good opportunity. Say pauses to sip her new poorly poured cup of green tea, then glances at me. Michael has told me you've been struggling to hold down a steady job. Is that true? I winced and slid an inch or two down in my chair. It's true enough that I've been flitting between low-paid part-time jobs for the last couple of years, but it's not something I want to admit to, not to a smartly dressed woman like Say. I like Say and all, and I even regard her as part of my family, but it is kind of awkward. There's no shame in that. Of course, it's hard to get by in today's economy, even for university graduates. Jobs are scarce, and there's a lot of competition. There are thousands of young people, hundreds of thousands, in fact, across the country in the same exact situation as you. That's the unfortunate reality of the world we live in. I do wonder, however, whether you're happy with the way things are. You're getting to the age where you would naturally want a bit more space. At least I would assume so. Are you alright living with your parents? It's fine, I guess. I reply after glancing between my parents. We get along for the most part. Sometimes I think I would like my own place, though. That would go a long way to ceasing the silly bickering between me and my mother. It's not that that'll happen anytime soon. I have like zero savings. I can't move out, not even to a cruddy apartment complex. This area is way too expensive for little old me. I'd be bankrupt unless I moved somewhere even further away. But that sounds like a huge hassle. Some people might thrive when faced with challenges, but I'm the exact opposite. I don't like exerting unnecessary effort. I just want life to be easy. Same. Maybe that's why I'm still living with my parents at the age of 24. Damn. I mean, the way the economy is right now, it's honestly best to live with your family, especially if you have a low-paying job. Because, like, even for me, I dropped out of college. I'm 27 and I still live with my family. Granted, I did move out and have my own apartment for a year, but you know, expenses gone up, rent goes up, but money, your wages don't go up as much. So, you know, if it works for everyone, it works for you. And you do what you gotta do. It's not necessarily a bad thing. There are, like Say says, lots of people in my situation, but if I'm being honest, it is starting to get to me. Aren't I getting a bit too old to answer to my mother? I want my own place where I can exist on my own terms, but I don't know how to go about achieving it. It seems like a pipe dream. You're not wrong there. Say nods, her neat black bob brushing her jawline. It'll be hard for you to rent your own property as it is, working part-time jobs. If you're content with your current situation, I'll leave it at that, but a job opportunity has come up that I believe you would be well suited for. A job? My mother leans across the table, her face alight with intrigue. What sort of job? It's a housekeeping position for one of my clients. A client? Now it's my turn to frown. Does that mean they're a writer? Yes, indeed. She's one of Horizon's most popular writers. She's something of a recluse, and she lives in a large home in the countryside. Lately, she's been having a hard time juggling her household chores with her writing obligations. I'm somewhat worried about her welfare, so I thought it prudent to hire a housekeeper on her behalf to maintain order. My clients stipulate that this housekeeper must be a woman close to her in age, willing to relocate and live with her in the countryside. She was very specific in demands, which didn't give me much wiggle room. But after pondering the matter of some time, I thought you might make for a good potential candidate. Me? Yes, you. I've heard from Michael that you're a good cook and you know how to clean. You might not be particularly enthusiastic about the latter point, but the job should pay well enough to motivate you. Really? My mother, made mercenary when it comes to monetary matters, latches onto this like a dog with a bone. How much are we talking about here? Dang, Mom, why are you asking like as if you're gonna be the one getting the money? Say promptly rattles off a figure which makes even for my placid father do a double take. Are you for real right now? Indeed I am. I wouldn't lie about such matters. Huh. I leaned back in my chair, stunned into silence. The estimated wage Sage just threw out is like double, maybe even triple what I'm earning right now at Blue Mountain. Those are some seriously large numbers there. If I took this job, I could be maybe not a millionaire, but it'd give me a huge boost. I might even be able to open a savings account. That is an incredibly generous wage. Would your client really be willing to pay our Mayo that? That is the figure she gave me. After some back and forth, I believe she can afford it quite comfortably. She's a very wealthy woman. So she must be if she can afford to throw her money around like that. And our Mayo, if she did take the job, her lodgings would provide for by her boss? Sai nods. She would be provided bed and board quite free of charge. Naturally, there would be no commuting costs. Really? Now that is a good bargain. It almost sounds too good. What's your client's name, Say? I want to know that too. Who exactly would I be working for? Her name is Komikado Hijiri. She is not so far apart in age of Mayo. She's only 28, and her stories are exceedingly popular. Ah, so we've come back to the mysterious Komikado, haven't we? I did wonder why when Say brought her up earlier. I guess she must be a big shot author to be able to splash her cash around so lavishly, but like I said before, I've never heard of her. What has Komikado Hijiri written? I asked before, but you avoided the question. That's because we were outside. I didn't want to broadcast Komikado's alter ego to the world. We're alone now, however, so I don't mind telling you the truth, you see. Wait, how do I pause the game? Okay, that's how you pause. Excuse me. Say smiles. Komikado doesn't write under her own name, but as a pseudonym. It's one you might be familiar with. To the general public, she's more commonly known as Tsuchimi Ryu. Oh no. The author is the big busty elf creator. Tsuchimi. My mother frowns. That name does sound familiar. Where have I heard it before? Does she write crime novels? My parents are none the wiser about this revelation, but I feel like I've been struck with a thunderbolt. My whole body is tingling from the crown of my head to the soles of my feet. I can hardly believe it. Does Sei really want me to work for Tsuchimi Ryu? Surely she can't mean the Tsuchimi Ryu. We must have gotten our wires crossed. I'm getting carried away. There's no way something like this could happen. By Tsuchimi Ryu, you don't mean, That isn't the Ryu who wrote Elf Forest, is it? This all feels too incredible a coincidence to be, but... Yes, that's right. Kumikado Hijiri, otherwise known as Tsuchimi Ryu, is indeed the author of Elf Forest. Oh! I stare at Sei, my mouth hanging open. Other than that single syllable, I don't know what else to say. All words have abandoned me. How am I supposed to respond in a situation like this? It's so impossible, it feels like something from a dream, but the chair I'm sitting on is reassuringly real. When I inhale, I can smell the scent of green tea which diffuses from my teacup through the air. This is reality. It doesn't bear much resemblance to my old reality, but it's definitely reality. Sei is offering me a chance to work with Tsuchimi Ryu. The Tsuchimi Ryu. I'm still in a state of shock, but one thing is clear to me. No matter what Sei says, I don't have a choice in this matter. I have to take her up on this offer. I simply have to. Who in their right mind would ever turn down a chance to meet their idol? Oh. We got an achievement. Contemplation. Mayo thinks about the future. Not the bath scene. It's been a few hours since Sei left and I'm still reeling from her news. I eat dinner with my parents a little later than usual, then head upstairs. I feel pretty tired, so I decided to have a bath early. I scrub the dirt off my skin and slide into the tub, all the way up to my shoulder. I recline in blissfully warm water, my arms looped about my bare legs. The curve of my spine is pressed against the lip of the bathtub, which feels comfortingly cool. Muggy steam wafts through the air. It clouds the bathroom mirror and the silvery taps at the end of the tub. I tied my hair back before stepping into the bathtub, so it doesn't trail onto the water. I don't feel like toweling it dry again. That sounds too much like hard work. I sigh as the tension fades from my body, my legs sore. I've been on my feet since 10 this morning, when my shift at Blue Mountain started. I've often felt that I wasn't made for physical labor, but I hate the rigidity of academia even more. Perhaps I'm simply not cut out for the world of adults. I've never had a clear idea of what I want from my future. There's no field I'm particularly interested in, and there's nothing I want to be. If I could wish upon a shooting star, I'd of course ask for wealth, right after world peace, of course, but right now I have no idea how I'd go about accruing it. I've been drifting aimlessly since I graduated from high school, without any real goal or any motivation. My way of living seems perturbed by my friends and family, but it's never really bothered me. My mother, meanwhile, is always panicking about my future. She's always trying to impress upon me the importance of having clearly defined goals, as if by having a plan of action, I'll be able to make it come true. She's wrong about that, of course. I'm not a psychic, I don't have a crystal ball, and neither was I born with the gift of precognition. I don't know what's going to happen 1 hour from now, let alone 1 year or 1 decade. What's the point in making plans when outside forces might sweep in and destroy them? Life's unpredictable like that. I'm a drifter, but I'm fine with the way things are. I'll figure things will work out okay, so long as I remain optimistic. Something good always comes up. That's what I've always told myself in any case, and it seems like I was right. Sei's job offer was totally unexpected. It came out of the blue, like a bolt of lightning, and in its wake, it's completely disrupted my day-to-day life. I'm going to meet my idol, Tsuchimi Ryu. Though I suppose that's not their real name, that's just a pseudonym. The real Ryu is a girl and around my age called Komikado Hijiri. I always thought Ryu was a guy, but I guess not. This evening's been full of surprises, and the chance to spend time with Hijiri is the biggest surprise of them all. I wonder if Hijiri will sign all my volumes of The Forest of the Elves and The Pressured Princess. And to think I was under the impression of the anime adaptation of the Elf Forest would be the highlight of my whole year, but I was wrong. Now I have something even more exciting to fixate on. I can't believe it. I sigh as I sink into the tub, my eyes half lidded. Droplets of moisture begin to bead upon my bare skin. I can feel perspiration trickling down my forehead. I don't bother wiping it away. I must be the luckiest girl in the world. I'm going to see Ryu. No, Hijiri. I correct myself. If I'm going to work with Hijiri, I need to get into the habit of calling her by her real name. I doubt she wants to go as her pseudonym in her daily life, unless she'd prefer that. I have to ask her. I can't believe I'm going to see my favorite writer. There's no way. This is all happening so fast. My goodness. I clap my cheeks with both palms. They feel flushed, which could be attributed in part to the hot water. But the other part comes, no doubt, from excitement. My heart's hammering like I've just finished running a relay. Am I allowed to be this happy? I'm so excited, I can hardly sit still. I want to cheer and whoop and throw my hands up in the air. What did I do to deserve this? Is this a reward for being a really great person in a past life? Maybe I was a bodhisattva or something. Or maybe. I ponder, worrying at the nail of my thumb with my teeth. Am I dead? Have I been transported to another world? I could have gotten hit by a truck, just like Itsuki. I pinch myself. Ow! It hurts, which would suggest I haven't ascended to heaven, and my reality doesn't waver. The bathwater continues to pool about me, warming my thighs and my torso, while another bead of perspiration drips down my forehead. It hits the surface of the water with a pronounced plip. The sound seems to echo throughout the bathroom. That puts pay to the dream theory, too. There's only one explanation for this. This really is real. I'm going to meet my idol. I'm going to meet Hijiri. Ah. I sigh deeply and sink a few more inches into the warm water. I'm so happy. I could die. Okay. Well, we're just going to leave it at that. And we're going to save the game. We're going to save it to slot 1. Hooray! But yep. Oh, are you sure you want to return to the main page? Unsave. Yes. Okay. Then it's right there. Yes, it is right there. Fantastic. Alright. That is going to be it for today's stream. Interesting. It kind of does suck compared to Please Be Happy. There's no audio for the voice actors for the characters, which sucks because it seems like there's a lot of characters in here. We've met coworker, random customer, mom, dad, aunt, and then us, the main character. That's 6 people already with no voices. The voices are all in your head. I'm going insane. But yep, that's just the one thing. I do like how the main character girl is very expressive with her face compared to all the other characters. The design for the characters are very nice, cute, but they're very curvy, which is not a bad thing. But hey, yeah, that's just it for today's stream. Thank you so much, and until next time, take care, have a good one. Goodbye.